So these are the little coasters that I made. I tried different quilting methods. This was my first effort. I felt like I was doing it all wrong. My machine quilting. This is the first time I've machine quilted. I started by doing around the flower. Actually, initially I started by mimicking the shape, but that was just a pain. So then I went around the edge. Didn't look right, so then I just went ahead and did crosswise. It doesn't look too bad. Brad calls it the spiderweb coaster. I'm using up old Christmas scraps that I've had laying around forever, so the back is also Christmassy. This one was my next attempt at machine quilting in one line, but it didn't quite work because I started in the middle, because I've been told that you should always start your machine quilting in the middle, but I don't think it matters on small things, as I've discovered. So I went down here and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then I had to start here again and do back and forth, which was okay. My binding on this one was a little bit rougher, but mostly just where the connecting is. I think if I iron that out, I can straighten it out. This is my best binding job yet. Nice and straight, nice and even. I'm very proud of this one. This one's a little wonky where the connector is, but I'm still okay with it. This one was another attempt at something different. I started in the middle and continued outward. I didn't use a guide for lines. I just eyeballed it, which didn't come out too bad. This one's also a decent binding job. It's a little bulky where the connector is. I'm going to see if I can fix that somehow. But it's looking good. This one I ran out of the scraps that I was using, so I threw in a piece of black. Like I said, these are just scrappy little things. This is the one I messed up the binding initially, now that I look at it. That's why it's all wonky. Because I had to trim off the seam allowance that I had put on there in order to use the binding. So that's why the corners are messy. Next time I'm just going to take it off and start over again. But they're just coasters, so who really cares? I'm going to do some more, but I'm going to use a different pattern. These ones were patterns that I made. These shapes, I drew them up myself and I made them. I'm going to use this book that I bought. It's got some very nice patterns in it and projects. So here's the patterns. I just photocopy them out, then I cut out the shapes and do that. So I'm just going to pick one that looks good, because these end up being pretty much coaster size. They're almost the same size as the ones I made, so I'm just going to do hexagon shaped coasters now. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.